Hi guys, so we've been doing so far one-step linear equations, and they're things like x plus 3 equals 5, and we've been learning how to solve them. But what about if you have two steps? What about if you have two things to do? So this is what this video is going to be on, two-step linear equations and solving them. If we've got something like x over 2 plus 3, I'm going to show you two ways of doing it. Say we've got x over 2 plus 3 equals 5. There's a few steps you have to remember. Remember, the golden rule with solving equations is what you do to one side, you must do to the other. So you'll see there that we've suddenly got a whole lot of rules, and I'd really like you to pause the video and copy those into your glossary. But we've got our golden rule, what you do to one side you must do to the other. Then I put a few others: expand brackets, collect like terms, simplify, and then solve. Now we won't talk about these yet because these won't be applicable for the ones we're doing. So we're just going to skip. We've got no brackets, we've got no like terms, we're going to skip all the way down to solve. There's two ways you can solve. You can either remove things one at a time, remembering to remove what is furthest away from x first, or you can use something called building and solving steps. So we'll talk about that first. But when you're solving, the really important thing to remember is that you solve by doing the opposite. Alright? So we've talked about this with linear equations, but you do with one-step linear equations, but you do the opposite to solve. So the opposite of plus is take, multiply is divide, and take is plus and divide is multiply. Alright, so let's think about this. If we've got x over 2 plus 3 equals 5, what is further away from x, the 2 or the 3? Well, obviously it's the 3. Okay, that's separated by a plus sign. It's further away, so we're going to get rid of that first. How do we get rid of plus 3? We do the opposite of plus 3. What's the opposite of plus 3? Take 3. So we're simply going to do x over 2 plus 3, and we're going to take 3. If we take it from that side, we also have to take it from the other side. And so we're going to get x over 2 equals 2. Now remember, x over 2 means x divided by 2, so the opposite of division is multiplication. So we're going to go x over 2 times 2 equals 2 times 2. And so x, those x 2's are going to cancel out, you're just going to get x equals 4. That's your answer. Alternatively, you can think of it another way, and that's the building and solving steps way. You can go and you'll get exactly the same working out. But before you do your working out, you can go, what did I do to x to make it x divided by 2 plus 3? How did I build x divided by 2 plus 3? So how did I go from x to x divided by 2 plus 3? The way you did that was that you divided by 2 and then you added 3. So that's our building steps. We first would have divided by 2 and added 3. To solve it, we take one brick off at a time, if you like. So you get rid of that one first, and then you get rid of that one. So to get rid of plus 3, you're going to take 3. And to get rid of divide by 2, you're going to times by 2. So that's another way of thinking about it. You'll get this exact same working out, but you can just write this little box next to your question. I'm going to do all the following in this way, and the following examples in this way, but if you want to use one of the other ways, like this way here, if you find that simpler, that's fine. So let's talk about another example. Say we had 2x plus 8 equals 3. Alright, let's think building and solving steps. We've got no brackets, so building and solving steps. What happened to this? Well, first we would have multiplied x by 2 to get 2x. So we've gone from x to 2x by timesing by 2. And then we would have added 8 in order to get 2x plus 8. Alright, so to go backwards, what's the first thing we have to do? Well, we have to take 8, and then we have to divide by 2. Okay, so we're going to write 2x plus 8, take 8, equals 3, take 8. So 2x is going to then equal negative 5. Then we're going to divide both sides by 2 because that's our next solving step. Cancel those, and we'll get x equals negative 5 on 2, which is negative 2.5. Now, either way, leaving it at negative 5 on 2 or negative 2.5, that's perfectly fine. Alright, let's do one more example. Say we had over here x plus 3, and we'd have x on 4. Alright, doesn't matter that x is on the right hand side. The answer is no, it doesn't matter. You just want to get x on its own. Doesn't matter which side. We normally have it on the left hand side, but it doesn't matter. So again, building and solving steps. What have we done to x to make it x over 4 divided by plus 3? Well, we would have divided by 4, then we would have added 3. So to solve it, what are we going to do? We're going to take 3 and times by 4. So we'll get, let's do that. We'll get 8 take 3 equals x over 4 plus 3 take 3. So 5 equals x over 4. And then we're going to times both sides by 4. And so we will get 20 equals, cancel those 4's, x. And that's the correct answer. Now you might be thinking, oh, there's lots of little steps there. I'm going to show you the minimum amount of steps you can use. Really good to show all that working out though, because it makes you make sure you know it. So if we go 6x plus 10 equals negative 3, for example. All right, still write your building and solving steps. But remember, if you get this and you don't want to do that, you don't have to. So I'm just going to do it without it. I'm going to think, all right, I want to get rid of 10. How do I get rid of plus 10? I'm going to take it. So my next step is going to go straight to 6x equals negative 3 take 10. So 6x equals negative 13. And then I'm going to go, well, how do I get rid of 6x? 6x is 6 times x. How do I get rid of that 6? I'm going to divide by 6. So I'm going to go x equals negative 13 over 6. You can go straight to that. That's perfectly okay. Just means you're not showing so much working out, but that's all right as long as you get it right. All right, so I hope that helps you know now how you can solve two-step linear equations.